he got there where most of us came from. There's some real estate out there that I'd like to buy, but I don't have enough money to buy it myself. Let's go out and get some partners. Right. That's where many of my clients come. That's where I came from, as opposed to just buying single family houses myself. I talk about that straddling in my book, the first couple chapters. I talk about the possibility that there's really three paths you can take. You can look at syndication and say, well, I can't do that because it conflicts with my brokerage business, which I think it really does. I think it really can conflict. And then you can say, well, I don't care if it conflicts. I'll develop an internal policy and procedures manual that will let me do both without any trouble and still do the fiduciary and agency duty I have with both types of clients. Or with me, I got out of the brokerage business because I just didn't think I could do both. And I kind of liked the syndication business. So I just went into the syndication business. But your guy, who I believe you still have some deals left with you, right? There's still...
we still have 20 properties together.
Oh, 20 properties. Okay.
Yeah.
He got there where most of us came from. There's some real estate out there that I'd like to buy, but I don't have enough money to buy it myself. Let's go out and get some partners. Right. That's where many of my clients come. That's where I came from, as opposed to just buying single family houses myself. I thought I could buy 10 of them at one time if they were stacked on top of each other, called apartment building. But I didn't have the money to do that myself, so I went out and learned the ropes of what a syndicator was. That's so common.
Yeah,
that's great. So now you and Mike are in business together, and you're out there buying multifamily properties. What is your strategy today in buying properties? You both have various roles and you do different things, and I know you find other people to do stuff with. What's your overall strategy?
Well, I'm currently a code managing member in 41 properties, 12 senior housing deals, and 8 commercial properties, and that's with my other partner, Kevin. And then Mike and I are partners together in 21 multifamily properties. So we have just a little under 6,000 apartments that we're the co-managing members of. And I decided 5 years ago to go all in on the multifamily sector. And I say that because I've been in significant number of retail properties. I'm in office buildings, industrial parks, flex, manufacturing, refrigerated storage, freezer storage, senior housing, currently, meaning independent living, assisted living, memory care. So, I try to be humble and say, hey, look, I don't know everything, but I've really been an owner in a lot of different types of properties. And so 5 years ago, Mike and I had about 800 apartment units in Tyler, Texas. And I kind of took a deep breath, said, where do I want to spend the last 15 years of my career? And I looked at the 4 apartment properties that we had together, and I had a little moment of reflection. How did they do during the recession of 2009, 10, 11, and 12? And they held up better than any other asset type that I was involved with at that time, or really any time. And I kind of decided I want to go all in on multifamily for the rest of the duration of my career. And so Mike and I huddled, decided that we would stay focused on buying Class B, B minus, C plus in markets, and I'll get to that in a second, in markets that we found attractive. And we would focus on value add deals, meaning, which I think we all know what that means, but we'll go in, we'll cure the exterior deferred maintenance, and we'll buy deals where we think we can renovate the interiors with a kind of a standard scope of interior upgrades and raise rents in the process. So that's our business strategy. In terms of locations, our apartments range in location from, I think I'm in 13 different states, 31 different cities, with all of the holdings. The apartments are in 12 different states. I don't remember how many cities offhand, but we are in Seattle, San Diego, Reno, Kansas City, St. Louis, Richmond, Virginia. So we try to pick markets that we do a lot of research, and we try to pick markets that we think have realistic economic growth potential. We want what a lot of people are looking for. We want to have, a decent sized market. We focus heavily on employment projections. We work with economists to help us devise these lists of cities that we target. And we're looking for strong employment sectors. We're looking for, university towns. If we can have, strong, transportation. We'd like it to be in a lower crime submarket. We would like it to have these properties to have strong schools. So it's Class B, B minus, C plus, value add, multifamily, and the ages of the properties we're looking at they're in the 70s and the 80s. We're dipping into some newer properties lately, one or two in the 90s and the 2000s, but that's not the norm. So that's our business strategy.
And you're going to keep that business strategy from what it sounds like for the next couple of years.
Yes. Yeah, okay. We'll stay. Once you kind of figure out the recipe, you just stay with it.
I get a laugh out of that. You said that you're trying to figure out what would you do for the last 15 years of your career.
Right.
And I sat at the kitchen table with my wife where all the great decisions in life are made, I truly believe.
Right.
And faced the same question. So I went off to law school 27 years ago.